Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic, host of Bachelor Nation News. This video is going to be an update on the Clayton paternity scandal, as it's been called. I've deleted all of my videos covering this scandal, not because I don't believe I have covered it correctly, but because I've been met with a cease and desist from the lady we're referring to as Jane Doe. What does this mean? Well, it means I don't think the videos bring in enough value for me to deal with whatever lawsuit may come forward, and it would be my opinion that lawsuit would have no legs to stand on and be sort of frivolous. When people, and again, these are my opinions, when people use the legal system to silence others, it's not hard. It's usually somebody with a little bit more capital that can spend the money to have a very sternly worded letter, notice to silence them. That's how it works. So if the lady we are referring to as Jane Doe believes she has a case for defamation against me, I would then be forced to use what I have had here, which is published videos, to show that I've never referenced their name and done all the things that you would do that would tie, defamation to somebody. I've shared my opinions on the matter, and I've shared what I believe to be cold, hard evidence. Okay, so that's the hardest part when we do these stories is what's real, what's fake. There's so much information out there, shit posts, things like that. So I'm not afraid of my innocence in the matter, but to protect my family. It's not like I have a ton of free time where I would enjoy going through that system. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not afraid I'd be able to escape low levels of quicksand, but I'm not going to step in the puddle. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? You know, that's a bad example. I am afraid of quicksand of all levels. So, I've received the cease and desist. I thought long and hard about what to do about it. I made a video, and then after I made that video, that's yesterday when my computer charger, when my computer crashed, and it took me a few hours to get my computer started back up again. All that stuff. Which isn't important. Otherwise, just to say my video went up late, and then she was upset that I made a video talking about the cease and desist, sharing my opinions on what I thought was fact and fiction. And after that, she wrote me a very strongly worded email, which we have seen has been followed up by possible ongoing legal issues. So I've asked her, I said, how do you want me to cover this case? Really? I mean, it's public. You have to remember, because of Jane Doe, no one's denied the fact that she's gone to the news outlet to cover this story. She got the Scottsdale Police Department involved, said she's called them feared for her safety from Clayton. She said all these things. And we generally, for the most part, believed that this was a credible story until Clayton then shared his side, which was that he says he's never even had sex with her, that he's only had oral sex and other aspects. So people looked at this in a critical eye after looking at it, seeing that a sonogram is duplicated and this and that. Well, it's not enough. And I think it's fair to talk about. And, it seems like it's a case of no matter what I do, I'm going to be on the wrong side in her opinion. And by that, I mean, she was upset that we weren't covering her side of the story. So we covered her side of the story. Then she got upset that I was sharing information that she sent me. So, it was just one, and then she denied that information was even from her. So somebody's gaslighting me. It's either Clayton's camp or her camp. It's my opinion and my intuition that she's the one doing the gaslighting. I think that's a fair opinion to have now that I'm dragged into this. So I emailed her, or I should say she emailed me. She said, you don't have permission to be sharing all my medical records. Again, this referring to a sonogram, in which I said, okay, and then I asked her, I said, is this yours? Is this sonogram yours? The one that she said, I don't have permission to share. And then her response was, no, that's not mine. So then I showed that, well, that sonogram is right down there, and it's in her Dropbox, which she made public and shared with people publicly. So she's saying that, you know what I mean? So when that happens, I thought long and hard and even met with my defamation lawyer before sharing this video right here, which shows the ultrasound that I believe she claims to be hers overlapped with a 6-year-old ultrasound. Jane, this is why it's hard to cover this story here, because we can't agree on what's true and what's false. And I think in front of a judge, they'd be able to make an accurate decision here. And you can't defame somebody if you are telling the truth. So we're looking for sort of like empirical evidence here that we're telling the truth. She's never come back at me with regards to this sonogram. She's tried to come back at me with regards to past cases and things like that. Jane, I am pledging to sort of hold off on further commentary with regards to past cases and things like that. I'm willing to look at this paternity scandal between you and Clayton. It is a scandal. It's a he said, she said, right? I'm willing to look at this more objectively if that pleases the court being your decision to pursue legal matters. That's not me begging, and that is not me afraid. That is just me saying, let's refine this conversation specifically to you versus Clayton. Let's get to the truth, because when we have the truth and when the truth is proven, then there's no crime when we talk about sharing that truth publicly. So I made private all the videos. She asked me to do this. I believe this is, I don't know, I'd call it unreasonable, but I went so far as to private these videos. I did them yesterday. As soon as I got back to my computer, I did them. This is where I'm starting to realize, and maybe Clayton could say, told you so, but this is where you realize it's just not enough. Because we had a deal. Private your videos. It's what she said in her cease and desist. Private your videos, or I'll pursue further legal matter. So someone found this yesterday on Reddit, Bachelor Nation subreddit. Hey y'all, I found this on the website UpCounsel. UpCounsel is a website used by law firms to hire potential clients. Now, when I made my video yesterday, I referred to her cease and desist lawyer as like a Fiverr lawyer. You know, Fiverr is a company where for like $5 you can get someone to design a headshot for you, or give you a haircut, or cheat on your whatever. So it's like a marketplace for lawyers, and it's called UpCounsel. But I said that her lawyer was like a $5 sort of like pay somebody to copy and paste what you said, put it on their font, they're you know, whatever. So this person went on to say, it's kind of like Venmo, but for legal services. Anyway, I saw this on the website, and doesn't know that what she posted was public and not a private message. I don't know. What do you guys think? So this was then shared publicly, and it's, I guess, a job description that Jane Doe had for this, what I called Fiverr lawyer, which I think fairly can be, you know, considered like UpCounsel or whatever you want to call these lawyers. Hi, can I please hire you to write another letter? Okay, this being the first letter she wrote. I couldn't be more pleased with your work, but feel a response is needed. He, that's me, has now posted this video. I think you would be especially interested in the last couple of minutes where he refers to you as a Fiverr version of a lawyer. And then I wrote, and then this correspondence included my message to Jane Doe. Hey Jane, waving the white flag. Just tell me which videos you want deleted. It'll be done by the end of the day. I held my promise. I deleted all of the videos. I even said I only want everyone's mental health to be safe. I wish you no ill will and hope you're okay. I truly mean this. I've considered how I can cover this story so that if there is any self-harm or anything issued or done, that it's not of my causing. I do care about people, whether I know them or hate them, whether they are my friends or enemies, and I don't want any extra issues with Jane Doe, which is why I've redacted her name, and I have decided to just, you know, sort of make this a fight for Clayton's truth and not necessarily exposing this stranger, because if we did that, we would be sharing everything we know about them. And trust me when I say there's so much more that is known that is being withheld here because it's, maybe a side story to this actual story. So then she included the long letter that she ended up writing me, which was, her explaining why she was in the right. And then she said, I'm provably pregnant as shown by the HCG test results that came back the other day and by appointments that occurred with doctors this week. And again, those doctors were her neurologists, which don't do ultrasounds. Please delete anything and everything that you have posted that has referenced me. All the best, Jane Doe. And then she said, that was the part to me, and now she says to her lawyer, please let me know how I can pay you and how quickly you can get this done because people are harassing me in his comments. Now, I would never want anyone to harass her, and I don't believe the comment section operates that way. YouTube has terms of service to, report people if they harass, and we try our best, but, I'm not endorsing any comments left in the comment section. That's above my pay grade here, folks. But either way, so my guess is this will be, she will accuse somebody, maybe an ex, of making this up on her behalf. But I have to say this, she included the exact email that I sent to her privately. So the only way an ex would have done this is if that ex also has access to her email. And I mean, how far down the fucking rabbit hole do we go with this, folks? You know what I mean? How far does it go? So we're not sharing anything about the case. We're just sharing how a simple and probably $20, maybe $100, but I'm guessing $20 to $30, how a simple up-counsel request can be used to try to silence people. That's where it is, folks. That's where it is. Now, you could argue this isn't Jane Doe, but I just showed you that. I mean, it's her email, like private emails that were sent. So it's like, change your password if it's not you. We could argue that it's her, but someone could also say, well, this could be somebody else. It's the same first name, last initial. It's the same city. It's the same exact time after she responded to me. It is all these things. And also, people are saying, well, Dave, how is it slanderous to call someone a cheap lawyer? No, I think you do what you got to do as a lawyer, but to refer to up-counsel as a Fiverr version of a law firm, all right, maybe it's not $5, it's a $25er, it's a $105er version of a law firm, but this was the email that was sent to me, the cease and desist from the Bourne firm. Guys, I know Jane Doe tells me I'm a shitty investigative journalist or whatever, bad YouTuber, but I'm trying my best here. And that same email that was sent to me by the Bourne firm is John Bourne, attorney on up-counsel. I mean, I rest my case, guys. So, what can you guys do to help me out? Well, I'm not going to be talking about this case in any way that can damage this situation any further. Even though I do believe I've covered it in a way that covers my ass, I am going to let it play out, let the results of this pregnancy or lack thereof come out, and I will be building a legal defense regardless for everything I have said about this case. With that said, it's going to take time and money. It's going to take a lot of energy, regardless of whether or not she furthers this lawsuit. And I have to get all of my ducks in a row, all of my gooses in a gander. And your help on Patreon has been really pivotal. This year already, I was talking about how the monetization structure has been a real hit. I think it's because it has to do with the economy. I'm not really sure. But Patreon is a way that money goes directly into my pocket. It's a nice little revenue source, 10 or 15% of my actual revenue, but it goes a long way. And you guys completely flipped it up this last month. A lot of you joined because you saw the injustice that was going on here. I'm not here to play a victim. I'm just saying, if you want to put some bread in the tip jar, patreon.com/Dave Neal, and maybe then we can afford our own lawyer on up-counsel. The truth is, my defamation lawyer, not to do a defamation lawyer measuring contest, but mine is one they write books about. Okay, folks, we'll be back with more content. I'll be on the podcast this afternoon, and then tomorrow, Driving with Dave with Rodney. Bye, everybody.